Welcome to the DeFi Standard, and this is Mickey B. Fresh. Today, we're doing the Level Up Series, Volume 2, the Flare Time Series Oracle. And this is Take 2. Hopefully we fixed the mic issues that we had in the first video. So let's dive right into it. So what is the Flare Time Series Oracle? This is the beating heart of the Flare network. And this is what allows for probabilistic price data to be brought into the network, and also which rewards all the users who participate. And this solves one of the biggest problems since blockchain was invented, which is the Oracle problem described by Vitalik Buterin in 2014, is this ability to be able to bring in decentralized, trustless price feeds to a network without centralization or manipulation. So how is the FTSO able to do this? Well, they have 100 plus signal providers at the moment right now that provide price data for XRP USD, Flare USD, BTC USD, and this allows for the F-asset system to be able to be operated in a way where it has these trustless price feeds built into it. Also, all dApps on the Flare network can use these price feeds. So this allows for applications to not have to integrate all these other Oracle solutions that are outside. They could just utilize these price feeds. So the Flare Time Series Oracle also replaces mining and proof of stake in that it's a way to have the whole user base engage with the network. So instead of just rewarding miners for securing the network, the Flare Time Series Oracle, you're able to delegate vote power. So instead of putting up actual staking value, you're staking vote power. And this allows for a trustless, risk-free way to earn the inflation rewards. So instead of the miners just earning the rewards or just giving up custody of your assets in, say, a proof-of-stake network, you're able to delegate your vote power and earn from the signal providers. Now, you don't even have to trust them with distributing the rewards to you. They come directly from the FTSO. And we're going to explain how you do this after we go through a couple video clips here of the Flare Time Series Oracle. So the first one here is from Hugo Filion, the CEO of the Flare Networks, describing the FTSO.
What the Flare Time Series Oracle is doing is, at least in the first instance, it's solving for price. But in reality, it can solve for any probabilistic data set, which has a time series. And so what you do with your Songbird tokens currently, and what you will be doing with your Flare tokens in the future, is you'll be delegating them to price providers. As I said, since we launched Songbird, we have close to 100 of them. You delegate your tokens, and the price providers on your behalf put prices into the system. And those prices are aggregated in the FTSO smart contract. This forms a distribution. The smart contract cuts the tails of the distribution off. So it removes the top 25% and the lower 25% of prices, leaving it with the 50% in the middle. It then takes the weighted median, weighted by your delegation, and that weighted median gives us the price. It sounds simple, but there's a lot of game theory in it. But so far, it's been extremely useful and extremely robust. The system currently handles about 100 data providers, and I think about 15 or 16 different price series. We're looking at ways to upgrade that so that it can handle thousands of price providers and thousands of price series. And that's some of the work we're doing with Max Walter.
So this is a very powerful solution, being able to scale up now. They're going into V2 to up to 1,000 signal providers. And this is why the Songbird Network, being a canary network, was so important for Flare to launch. Because now we're able to have these 100 signal providers that already exist once Flare launches. We don't have to now have all these adoption take place. It already happened the last year. So this gives Flare a nice springboard to launch into. These FTSOs are also going to be validators in the network, and they're also going to be testers on the other Oracle system, which is the State Connector, which we're going to do probably 2 volumes on after this FTSO video in the next week or so, because it's important to understand the distinction between the Flare Time Series Oracle and the State Connector. The Flare Time Series Oracle is at the heart of the inner economy. So earning rewards here is a transfer of value from the participants who don't participate, or bad or poor participation, to the participants who do. And the inflation rate is rewarded to those who do participate. So unlike the United States, say the Federal Reserve, which you just have a board of governors who decide we're going to raise the inflation rate, we're going to raise the interest rates, and inflation's going through the roof, you don't see any of that inflation. Within a Flare economy and Songbird, it's governed by the actual users. So every Spark token and every SGB token come with a governance vote that's detachable. So you'll be able to vote even if your asset is used in a smart contract. You'll still be able to vote. And it comes with this other detachable vote, which is for the FTSO. So now in your Bifrost wallet, you would just have to wrap SGB or you wrap FLR. And that puts a smart contract wrapper around it, which allows you to delegate it to a signal provider. And then you're able to earn rewards. So on Wednesday nights, you want to make sure that you have your vote delegated, and then you will be able to claim those rewards on Saturday. So it's a very powerful system, and now it's getting upgraded to V2. So now let's listen to another video clip from the recent Flare presentation.
Hi again, everyone. Thanks, Hugo, for the presentation. I'll do a short overview of the FTSO. Let's start by what is the problem we are trying to solve. The Oracle problem is a problem that is apparent in blockchains since inception, I think. And there were many solutions tried to solve this problem. It is very hard to determine the price of any given asset between all fragmented markets. And as I said, many solutions exist. Most of them are either centralized or prone to manipulation or attacks. What we are doing with the FTSO, we have an open and decentralized system. We enable any price provider to join and feed prices. We're leveraging the proof of stake, so any token holder can delegate his tokens to a price provider and participate in this game. And later, as Hugo already mentioned, the best prices are being rewarded. Currently, we have up to 100 providers. Later, we plan to have much more. So more details will follow. So here's the high-level description of the system. The FTSO actually is a set of contracts. Each price pair has one contract, which is deployed on Songbird at the moment. Multiple price providers, external providers, try to get price feeds from as many data sources as they can, and they feed prices to the contracts every 3 minutes. This is done in a commit and reveal scheme, so no one can copy prices from another provider. Per price epoch, which is 3 minutes, all the prices are calculated and a weighted median is found, and this weighted median is actually the price. Now we truncate the upper and lower quartile, and then all the best prices in the middle get rewarded. With this system, any user can participate. So any Songbird holder can wrap his tokens and delegate his vote power, meaning balance, to any price provider. Now, the tokens are never locked. We built it in a way that enables us to take snapshots of the vote power and not lock tokens. And so actually, even though it's staking, no one has to lock tokens. So it's like a great place where from the beginning, once you hold the tokens, you can already participate in the system. You can already delegate your vote power, meaning your balance, and earn rewards for doing so. This is the high-level idea. Some technical details. So we have a 7-day reward epoch. So every week, anyone can claim his rewards, wrap the claim tokens, and redelegate them. Per reward epoch, any token holder can choose a new price provider and redelegate. So if the price provider is not being honest or something happens with him, he can choose a better price provider. The price providers are capped with vote powers, so no single price provider can have too much weight in the system. And each day, around 12 million Songbird tokens are distributed in rewards. Some goes to token holders, and a bit fee is going to the price provider. Currently, as I said, we have 100 competing data providers, and we also have 3 trusted providers, which are fail-safe mechanism for this price fit if anything goes wrong, but so far this hasn't yet happened.
So this has been a very robust system that has launched on Songbird for the last roughly about 8 to 10 months and has run without any issue. But if there is any ever issue, there is a failsafe with 3 trusted providers. Now, in the 8 to 10 months that this has scaled up to 100, we've not even had to use that. So you could see how it's already shown that it's robustness. And this is really the power of having a Canary network and with Songbird launching. So you'll be able to delegate your Flare token. Roughly 60% of all SGB at the moment is delegated to signal providers. And I recently put out a poll based on Gene's information that he posted, and I'm going to leave his Twitter handle and website in the description below. Check that out because it shows you the APR rate that you were able to earn if you chose any of the 2 top 10 signal providers. And it was actually 33% APR for the recent Epoch 35. And I put out a poll asking the community what they thought the APR was of the top 10 signal providers for Epoch 35. And I asked under 10%, between 10 and 20%, between 20 and 30%, and between 30 and 40%. Now, the answer being 33%, the majority chose under 10%. So that shows that the perspective of the community is underestimating what the actual APR is. I think that's just an important takeaway, just to know it's not good or bad. It just is what it is. So now that's just for the top 10. Now there's 100 different signal providers. Some exchanges run signal providers. Some custodians run them. But you could choose and go to flaremetrics.io and you could see all the different data providers. Now Flare team has put out some great information on the FTSOs. There's some great blogs out there. Flare community has done some great videos. So we're going to keep putting out more educational content for the community so they can understand better and how to utilize this. Because like I said, everyone can participate. There's no reason why somebody wouldn't participate. And this transfers value, like I said, from those participants who are bad participants or poor to those who do. And this is the inner economy. Now, the F-asset system is the outside economy bringing value into the network. And that's what's minting TVL, so FXRP, FBTC. Now, those agents are earning fees in the native asset. So that's bringing revenue into the network. And those agents are earning that value, and that brings more participation. And this is the outside economy bringing in. Layer Cake is going to do the same thing. It's going to generate revenue for the bandwidth providers. And this is what you need in these type of systems. They're not stocks, and not everything is based on speculation price. This is actual utility. So Spark, when it comes out, its utility is to delegate to the signal providers and also to be used as collateral in the F-asset system. So these are things that at launch will be available for you. So the State Connector is the other Oracle system, which we're going to dive into next. But you could do all this right now with SGB, and you'll be able to do this once you receive Flare in your airdrop, or if you participate in the network and own any Spark tokens, right in your Bifrost wallet, and it's risk-free. You don't have to trust the signal providers. You don't have to trust anyone with your assets, and you can actually use those assets and still simultaneously delegate to earn those rewards. But you could change every week. So if you don't like the signal providers you had the week before, you change the next week. Now they are upgrading to V2, so we might see some changes here. Maybe you could delegate to 3 providers or 4, but they're going to allow it to scale up to 1,000 signal providers. And what this does is it decentralizes the whole ecosystem so that we have more data providers providing accurate price feeds. So this is where you could have machine learning and other advanced technologies built on top of this continuous data source being streamed into the network over and over and over again. And this supports the F-asset system. So it's a core piece of technology that replaces proof of stake and mining, but also allows to solve the Oracle problem. And then it has some game theory built into it. So This is not financial advice. This is for educational purposes only. And I'm Mickey B. Fresh, and I'm out.